أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. إلا دار زايد لا تقرب حماها لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. نحنا شعوب لها نفدى ثراها نبذل الغالي لها دوم ونهب.
I'd like to thank my teams and the people who I work with. Like, none of this would have been possible without their continued support. And I'd also like to thank the President of the UAE and the rulers of the Emirates here, because I think the platform that they've created, for everybody here, not just locals, but for expatriates like myself, I think that platform is unmatchable anywhere in this world. So a huge amount of gratitude for the leadership of this country.
Hello and welcome to Peers of Union, and today, like every week, we're shedding a light on a new success stories in the United Arab Emirates. Our story today is about NEXA Holding, which is one of the leading digital growth and marketing companies in the region. The group encompasses a portfolio of companies specializing in digital growth, AI, future skills for children, and more. And of course, to talk about the details of this success story, we're pleased to welcome Dr. Amit, Vyas, Chairman and CEO of NEXA Holding. Hello and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Dr. Amit, we always start with talking about the personal journey, the milestones, the life before the success story that happened today, everything that led you to who you are today. So how do you describe this journey?
It's been a really fun journey. I was born in the UK, lived there my entire life, and a really good upbringing, very close family, great education, and moved to Dubai in 2005. So in early 2005 I moved here, and it was just all about the opportunity in the UAE at that time. So I visited Dubai on holiday, and it just felt like something very special was happening here. So even 22, 23 years ago, it felt like something magical was happening in Dubai. And the opportunity just came about, and I was excited to see what I could do with it.
What about your educational background?
Yeah, sure. So I was educated at Aston University in the UK. So I did a undergraduate degree in computer science and business, and I've recently just been awarded a doctorate at the same university.
Let's talk about NEXA now. Let's move to the success story.
Sure.
NEXA Holding, what inspired you to say that I want to have my own company and it's specialized in this sector exactly? And when did that happen?
Yeah, I think I come from an entrepreneurial family. So both my parents are very entrepreneurial, grandparents prior to that as well. So for me, I'd always wanted to have my own business. And actually, the university I went to was a very entrepreneurial university. So some of the biggest business leaders in the UK have also come from the same university. So for me, it was always about wanting to fuel that ambition, and that's really where it came about.
Mm-hmm. And what made you choose this sector exactly?
Yes, my background was in computer science, so I've always had a passion for technology, and I was studying. Well, my undergraduate was at the same time as really the internet was kind of becoming a thing. Mm-hmm. So nobody really knew the power of the internet. There were maybe a handful of websites that were live. Mm-hmm. Google had just been launched, to give you an idea of when that was. So the opportunities were just incredible, and it just felt like this was going to really kind of change the way businesses operated. And so for me, especially kind of being educated during that time and then coming out in my career, it just felt natural that a business focused on the internet and the possibilities around that would make the most sense.
Could you walk me through the services and the journey from the beginning till now? NEXA Holding, what's the story? How did it evolve?
So we started out as a very small business. Mm-hmm. So our first office was actually the Starbucks in the Bergman. Mm-hmm. So very kind of humble beginnings, and we basically had a couple of ideas, and then so the main kind of ethos around the business was, how do we help companies grow using the internet, right? So using digital technology. So in the early days of 2004, I guess, and 2005, really the internet and digital marketing were websites and email marketing, right? There wasn't much else. This is pre-social media. Most companies here, for example, during that time didn't even have a website, right? So there was obviously an opportunity, and we kind of believed that the internet obviously was going to change a lot of things. And so our focus at that time was, how do we kind of use the technology that was available to help deliver growth for companies? And that was really it. So it was about building databases, using those databases for email marketing, and then taking people through to a website, because really that was the only thing that was available in those days. And then over that time, and as digital technology has evolved, that's when we started adding additional services as part of our portfolio. And that, from search engine optimization through to social media, and then all the way through to digital transformation, helping companies to really transform their businesses efficiently. So using technology for that basis. And then today, much more sort of focused on AI.
Yeah. Tell me more, how do you integrate AI in your services? Because it's a fast moving, evolving sector, and the market is filled now with AI, but at the same time it's overwhelming, because every day there is a new Claude and ChatGPT, and then Notebook LB, and then something else. So how do you keep up with that?
Yeah, look, the important aspect of all of this is you always have a very kind of open mindset. Right. So, and I think that's been one of our success stories, or one of the reasons why we've been successful. We've always looked at technology not as something that's prohibitive, but what can we do with that technology? And sometimes that needs a lot of kind of innovation. You can look at some core technology and then figure out how to apply it best to your clients and the region that you operate in. So from an AI perspective, where we are today is really interesting. The opportunity is huge and it's significant. And I think the opportunity exists for every company that's in existence today. So from our perspective, what we've become very, very good at is looking at how we can apply AI into our clients' businesses. There's a lot of people talking about AI, but there's very few people who are executing and implementing AI in the way it should be done for a business. And so we're doing that. And I think a related part of that, which I think is very important, is I think everybody's getting lost in what AI is. There's a lot of people who talk about AI. There's a lot of people who understand that they should be implementing AI within their business, but they don't know how to get started. So from a NEXA holding perspective, and if we look at our kind of individual companies, a lot of our focus is really amongst sort of the core elements of business, which is sales, marketing, and customer service. So a lot of our work is focused around these areas. So if a company comes to us and says, look, I'm struggling to generate sales, we will look at how AI can support that. And if they do the same and come to us with marketing challenges or customer service challenges, we'll follow the exact same process. We'll look at AI solutions that can actually have an impact. So it's not just about theory, it's about really kind of adding strategic value and then executing on that strategy.
And that's how you do measurable results for your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can't measure something, then it's very difficult to understand the value of it. And our business and our services is very much about the value that we generate for our clients. So at the heart of all of our activity is how we can measure success.
So you provide your services to so many sectors, future skills for children, hospitality, and more, of course, that if you would like to walk me through the services and the sectors that you provide to. How do you make such a balance and synergy between these diverse sectors, especially here in the UAE?
I think we can always get lost within the sectors, but business fundamentals are the same for every type of business, right? Every company needs a world-class sales process. They need world-class marketing, and then most of all, they need world-class customer service, right? They need to be able to connect with their customers. And what we do is we use AI or our services to help those companies enable that. So actually, we do operate across many different services, many different sectors, but the reality is that the same tools are typically applied. The mindset is just slightly different. So obviously, from sector to sector, there are different nuances that we need to apply. And we've got over 20 years experience within this market and across the world now, actually. And so we have a lot of experience within our team, within the business, and so it's not too difficult to look at any sector and apply real kind of science and logic to achieve success.
As an expert, how do you see the future of digital marketing, AI, technology in general? How do you think? Because there are a lot of people who would say that they, for example, replace employees, which is a kind of worry for so many people. How do you see the future of this sector in general?
It's a great question. Honestly, the reality is that AI is going to change a lot of things. Okay, but I think it's a bigger threat to people who aren't really embracing AI. And I think there's a lack of education across, in general. A lot of people still don't really understand what AI is. And when they don't understand something, they're typically scared of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening across many businesses. We've seen it with clients of ours. So the key to this is really education. And I think what happens is once people understand really what AI is, they'll learn to embrace it and make what they do more efficient. And it's not just about efficiency, right? It's about being more accurate with what you do. It's about excellence. It's about driving forward. Our argument and internally across the whole group is that AI is not here to replace you, right? AI is here to enhance what you do, to make what you do maybe faster, better, and more relevant to the company. It's almost like if you have a personal assistant, someone that is just very well equipped to handle any task that you need, handling, but with the magic of superpower computing, right? That's really what this is. So for those who embrace AI, they shouldn't fear AI at all.
I'm going to talk about something else right now, which is Pure Mind. First of all, I love the name. You launched Pure Mind Academy to develop life skills for children. What do you actually teach there or provide for children there? future skills for children. I mean, that's new.
Yeah, it's new, but it's been very much part of what we wanted to do at Pure Mind. So the business has been running for over a decade now. And really it was kind of set up to fill the gaps that education kind of currently leaves. So
Like what?
Well, so schools are excellent at delivering curriculum. They're delivering qualifications, but ultimately what we feel that children need, and again more so in the AI age, and I'll talk about that in a second, what children need today are more than just education. They need real kind of life skills, they need communication skills, they need confidence, and aside with that, they do need the kind of skills that schools typically don't provide. So one of our programs is financial literacy for kids. Right, we want children from the age of 4 to understand money. Right, a lot of us, have been through the whole education system, irrespective of which country that's happened in. And the challenge we face is we suddenly, we graduate, we get jobs, and we have money, and no one's ever taught us how to handle money. Right, and that's why you have, significant debt problems. People just, not sure how to handle interest. They're not sure how to handle credit cards, for example. They don't know the benefits or the drawbacks of these kinds of things. And so we want to kind of instill all of these different skills within children from a very young age. So it becomes kind of natural thinking. Another one of our programs is very much focused on entrepreneurship. Right, so we want people, I think especially in today's age, where it's very easy to start a business. You don't need a huge amount of investments to start a business. I think you just need an idea. So how do we help children sort of cultivate those ideas so they start thinking kind of in a business-minded way as they kind of grow. And we want to kind of, again, instill these kinds of skills within children from an early age. And in today's world with AI, I think all of this stuff becomes even more important. We want children to not fear AI. We want them to use AI, not to cheat during exams or for schoolwork, right? That's very important. But what we do want is for them to understand the power of AI, right? So there's a gap at the moment between children who are studying or students who are leaving university and what employers are expecting. And employers are expecting a generation of employees, young employees, who can add value in their organizations. AI is a huge enabler for value creation. And so what we're trying to do now with Pure Minds Academy's School of AI, which was recently launched, is to now really kind of fill that gap and get, again, children from the age of sort of 4 upwards. And it kind of develops and accelerates as soon as they kind of reach sort of 10 or 11 years of age. But we really want to instill all of these AI skills within what they do.
I think it's a good time now to ask for an advice from you, since we're talking about the skills and the children's skills and then the future for these children. We always take the opportunity with our guests to say something to anybody who has a project, especially young people, because they have these lack of confidence sometimes, and sometimes like over confidence, sometimes like they have like so many problems. There are like no balance psychologically, So for everybody who has a dream, looking at your camera, what advice would you give?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think the most important part of this is having the right mindset. So always stay curious. Always be willing to learn, embrace change, right? So every time there's a challenge, that typically means there's an opportunity. And I think that's how we've grown this business. So we really kind of focus on times of challenge, when there's things happening around us that we perhaps can't control. What can we do? Because typically there's always an opportunity on the back of it. So really kind of embrace change and really kind of focus on learning. I think as long as you follow those attributes, if you're willing to learn every day, never believe that you know everything. I think those are the things that will keep your mind well trained. And then lastly, I would say surround yourself with the right people. People that will keep you humble, people that will keep reminding you who you are, where you've come from, and it's always great to be ambitious, but ambition with caution and within the context of who you are, I think, is the best form of ambition.
Thank you very much for this advice, and also would like to give you a space also to send a message or share a message from the heart, a final thing that you'd like to say, of course looking at your camera.
Yeah, of course. Look, I think first and foremost, I'd like to thank my teams and the people who I work with. Like, none of this would have been possible without their continued support. And I'd also like to thank the President of the UAE and the rulers of the Emirates here, because I think the platform that they've created, for everybody here, not just locals, but for expatriates like myself, I think that platform is unmatchable anywhere in this world. So a huge amount of gratitude for the leadership of this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and we wish you all the success. And I'm sure you're gonna have that with this conversation. It's obvious, we could tell, and hopefully we see you always accomplishing more and more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching Peels of Union, a new success story next week, like always.